Welcome back to 15 News. I'm your host, Jim Hall. Let's kick things off today and join Mayor Kenson Siver, and we're going to join him at Mary Thompson Farm as he takes us on a tour of the farmhouse at Mary Thompson Farm.
Hello, this is your Mayor, Ken Siver, City of Southfield, and we're about to begin a great series on Southfield art, architecture, and historic places. So today, I am standing in the kitchen of the Mary Thompson farmhouse. And this house is one of our historic shrines in Southfield. It dates back to 1842, had been added on to over the years. So what we see on Evergreen Road today wasn't exactly how it looked back in 1842. The house housed the family, the Thompson and Stewart family, who were early pioneers in Southfield. And in those days, the family all lived together because you're working on a farm and every hand is important. It's about survival. It's about tending to the animals, it's about tending to the crops, and making sure that you grow and produce enough that you can have subsistence with the other things that you need.
We get a road update with City Engineer Lee Schultz. We learn about a fun event called Free Comic Book Day. We visit the Southfield Library and learn about a program to keep teens off of marijuana.
So first, I just wanted to cover some of our projects from 2022 that we are still finishing up this year, primarily in the Tanglewood subdivision. We still have a few streets that are getting our paving done and some restoration work. And then we've also got Berg Road, which was substantially complete last year, but we still have a lot of restoration work to do. And so that'll be happening early this spring. So 2023 is going to be the year for subdivision projects. So we have multiple projects. We've got $26.6 million worth of work that we're going to be doing this year, so another really busy season. The one major road project that we are doing is Denzo Drive. That road is being reconstructed and it's being 100% paid for with a Michigan Economic Development Corporation grant. So that we were able to secure that from the state of Michigan, and it's great. We very rarely get grants that cover 100% of the cost of a project. And then as far as the neighborhood projects, we've got the Sherwood Village subdivision. That project had to get broken into an east half and a west half due to budgetary constraints. So we're doing Sherwood Village East this year. That project is water main replacement and road concrete patching. And with the water main replacement, we're going to be doing what's called pipe bursting. It's a trenchless method of replacing water main, and it's going to be the first time we've done it in the city of Southfield. So the construction page is being updated this spring, and even with our update today, one of our projects that we'll be doing this year, it's actually going to be lasting over 2 years, is the big local streets asphalt rehabilitation project. And that is covering so many streets across the city that I can't even list them in our interview. So I would direct people to go to the website, and we have a map of all the roads that are going to be part of this year's work. And so that's going to be spread throughout the city. We also have a concrete local streets rehab that is primarily going to be focused in the Sharon Meadows subdivision and the Wildhorn subdivision, which is just adjacent to Sharon Meadows. So getting in there to do a lot of spot concrete work, and those roads certainly are ready for it. The other subdivision project I wanted to mention is Washington Heights. This project's been on our list for a long time. We've got water main needs and some drainage needs. And then of course there's always road needs, right? So the water main and storm sewer work is What takes the longest, that's a very big subdivision that we're getting into, and that will also be over 2 years of construction. And most of those roads are asphalt. There's some concrete, but the road rehab is certainly part of that project as well. And then the last neighborhood project will be Twickenham Valley. So that's a whole subdivision where we have a mix of asphalt and concrete. No underground work on that job, but because we have the two different pavement materials and it's a lot of work, we created its own project. And not positive it's all going to be done in 2023. Some of that may last into 2024. So we'll see. We haven't bid that project yet. So we'll see how we are on schedule and how quickly we think we can get it done. Oftentimes, if we offer that flexibility in our bids, we end up getting better pricing. So the contractors, you know, if they're already busy with other work and we're bidding a little bit later in the spring, if they know they can complete it in the following construction season, then that helps us get good prices. And certainly our road dollars are precious, so try and play that game of getting the work done and getting the best prices.
Free Comic Book Day is the equivalent of Baskin-Robbins Free Ice Cream Day. It was actually started by a gentleman who was next door to a Baskin-Robbins and thought, hey, what a great idea. We could get people to come in and check out comics if we gave some away every year. So they picked a date, which is usually and traditionally the first Saturday of May, and we give away comics. They sell us comics at a huge discount so we can give them to you, the public. Most comic book stores participate in this event, have some kind of tie-in with either local artists or writers or even nationwide known talents. They will also bring in face painting, have a store sale. There's all kinds of ways that comic book stores tie this all together into a once in a year, the biggest event that we have. Comic book stores in general don't carry just comic books. Here at A to Z, we carry sports cards, non-sport cards, gaming cards, coins and silver bullion, gold bullion, stuff like that. The store culture has changed a lot over the years to where you're not going into a comic book store that only has comic books. There's something there for everyone. Whether you're into pop action figures, we call them in-action figures, or you're into Pokemon cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards, you could bring a whole family in and generally find something for everybody in the family. Free Comic Book Day seems to have gone back to its traditional date, which is the first Saturday of May, and it should be the first Saturday of May from now until eternity.
So I work for the Alliance of Coalitions for Healthy Communities. Like I said earlier, we are a nonprofit based out of Troy. Our mission is substance abuse prevention, mental and physical wellness, recovery support programs, and harm reductions. So tonight I am giving a marijuana presentation for parents. This is a very informative presentation. It kind of gives hints on signs of use. It gives education on increase in THC potencies, what to look out for, and the different kinds of marijuana that are out there nowadays. So overall, it's very informative. If nothing else, you'll learn something from it. So the potencies nowadays, the THC potencies have gone up like crazy. They are very potent and very strong. That is something that really needs to be known and kind of put out there more. I think sometimes we fail to understand what the increase in potencies look like. I believe one joint today is similar to 18 joints in 1975. So a lot of the potencies have increased. There's multiple different types of marijuana nowadays. There's dabbing, there's pens, there's marijuana like pre-rolls itself as well. And also just where it can be and what it can be in. That's another really important thing. What does it look like? Where are people getting it from? Things like that. Just kind of understanding where it comes from and who it's coming from. One thing that I would say would be to really check in with your student, kind of know who they're hanging out with, what's going on in the schools, where they're going on the weekends, things like that. Things to look out for, of course, are the red eyes, dry mouth, increase in hunger, kind of change in behavior. Maybe it's agitation or maybe it's they're extremely tired, things like that. But I would say the biggest tip would just to be having that open line of communication with your child or your student, and forming that relationship for them to feel comfortable to talk to you, but also for you to feel comfortable to talk to them if you have concerns. So we have a website, it's achcmi.org. We are a local nonprofit in Troy. We service all of Oakland County, so by reaching out on the website, you'll be able to get in touch with myself, our front office, and we'll be able to put you in touch with whoever is responsible for that program, whatever needs you need to be met, and we can kind of do the communication styles that way.
We learn great ways to groom your dog with our friends over at Premier Pet. We visit our friends over at Surgeon's Choice, and they tell us some better ways to exercise. We visit the Raw Sock facility and learn about the new paper shredder.
Hey guys, it's Mike here from Premier Pet Supply, and the weather has gotten better, and that means you're getting out more with your dogs, and what that also means is rainy weather brings mud. Mud makes a dirty dog. So we're going to talk about grooming and making sure we keep that dog clean during the summer months so you can enjoy that good time outside, but also enjoy the house inside without it being a big mess, right? So important thing is to find the right brush. So when you brush your dog out, it's always really important to find one that's adequate for the coat. There's longer pin brushes that are meant for longer coats that do a good job of getting the dead and the loose hair. And there's also brushes like this, a rubber curry brush. You might look at this and think, well, I couldn't brush a dog with this, but this is actually ideal for your short hair. Bully breeds, Rottweilers, Dobermans, Frenchies, dogs like that, they actually can benefit from this. And what's nice about this being rubber is that you can actually use it in the bathtub as well. And speaking of baths, bath time is sometimes not the most fun time, but it is a necessary time. So when you do go to the bath to use whatever it may be that you're using, if it's a tub or a sink, make sure that you have a really good shampoo. We don't want to use the shampoos that are made for us for our dogs because those shampoos can have parabens, which are an irritant that can really hurt and irritate their skin and cause rashes and other problems. So you want to make sure that you have a dog's formulated a shampoo formulated specifically for your dog that's made with easier ingredients like oatmeal, aloe, different things like that that definitely help to neutralize the coat, but also not irritate the skin. Very important to know. Now, baths aren't something that the dogs really enjoy, so it's good to follow it up with a treat. Maybe in the summer you get some ice cream, something that can reward your dog so your dog knows that if I get through this and I do this, I am going to be rewarded, and there's something positive that's associated with it. So it's always important to have treats around to keep them busy. And something you can do in between baths, because baths, aren't ideal all the time, is having a good spray that you can spray to deodorize the coat and make sure that they stay clean and that coat stays shiny in between baths. So doing these things is something that is a recipe for having a good smelling, well-groomed, very healthy dog and keeping the house clean as well.
Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us again. My name is Marta Kaninsky, and I'm the therapy director here at Surgeon's Choice Medical Center. Spring is finally here, so let's put a little spring back into your step. The first exercise we're going to talk about is called a multi-directional reach, or a clock exercise. Now, if you don't have something like I have here where it lays out the numbers of the clock, you can always use any kind of materials. I put cones out to kind of signify the numbers, but if your memory is good enough, you don't need any kind of supplies, okay? When you're ready to start the exercise, you'll start with your feet on the ground and your hands on your hips. From there, you're going to lift one leg and reach forward to where 12 would be on the face of the clock. From there, you bring your foot back to the center and continue to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, if that was a little hard for you, then what you can do is you can actually put your foot down after every step. If this exercise was too easy for you, then you can try standing on an altered surface, like a piece of foam, a pillow, or something more challenging at the center of the clock. Thanks for joining us today on our journey to fitness success. Join us next month when we go outside and come up with a walking program to help you walk safely.
Hi. Today we're inside of the materials recovery facility, but in a portion that's actually been set aside for the general public to use. We're here to show you today how to use our paper shredder that's open to the public for you to shred some of those personal documents that have a little bit more confidentiality to them. So here on the right side of me is our paper shredder. When you come to the facility on 8 Mile Road, you will see to the right of the drop-off center, the drop-off bins, a door, a double door, that is the entrance into the building. Inside, as you step inside, you're going to see this fenced-in area that is specifically for you to bring your paper shredding to. So today I brought with me a bag of papers to shred. We don't want any plastic bags to go into the paper shredder, so it's best for you to just make sure that those don't go in. You want to have your paper ready before you start the shredder running. About 1/4-inch stacks is what they recommend so it doesn't clog up the equipment. Then you're going to set that on here. I've already kind of set up a couple of pieces or a couple of stacks ready to go here. It's okay to have staples in your paper, but no clips, no binder clips, no folders with the spiral, notebook types of things, just paper, and staples are okay for this shredder. So when you're ready, you're going to see the box here with 4 different knobs. The red knob, you want to make sure to pull it out, that it's all the way out before you push the green forward button. Forward means it's going to set the conveyor belt forward to take your paper into the teeth of the shredder. So I'm going to push that button. You're going to hear the shredder come on, and you can see the teeth moving in. We've given you a nice handy broom because it's a little bit of a distance for you to push the paper into the conveyor. So it's kind of like a video game, isn't it? Kind of push your paper in there, 1 stack at a time, and it's going to get chomped up right by that machine. So there you have it. Our public shredder is for personal use only, not any businesses. So unfortunately, businesses can't bring all their shredding documents. If you have business documents to shred, you can contact the actual shredding company. They can provide you with a service that's convenient right at your business location. So homeowners, if you have personal documents that you'd like to shred, you have this resource available to you here at ROSA.
Okay, so here in Southfield, we kick off Juneteenth with a flag raising ceremony, and then Parks and Recreation, we really hone in on it, and we do a Juneteenth Jubilee event. That event had over 5,000 people. It featured the Levi Marching Band. It had Impulse Dance Academy. We had spoken word hosted by Joel Fluent Green. We also had a concert performed by Weebone Entertainment. We had over 30 Black-owned business vendors, food trucks, games for the kids, face painting, a DJ. People were hustling on Evergreen. It was a great time. Juneteenth Jubilee is just the kickoff to the summer, but we do events through Parks and Rec throughout the entire year. You can find out more information on those events by going to the City of Southfield Parks and Recreation Facebook page. You can call our front desk, or you can come in person, say hi, and ask any questions that you need.
That wraps up this edition of 15 News. Once again, I'm your host, Jim Hall. Thank you so much for watching. We remind you that if you'd like to catch any episode of 15 News, just visit Southfield Cable 15 on YouTube, select videos, and then search for the episode you're looking for. We thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time.